My name is Jade. My global weather project for the Weather and Climate course is over tsunamis. In this presentation, I will be discussing what is a tsunami and some of the common causes of tsunamis. Additionally, I will review some of the major and most deadly tsunamis that have struck the Earth. In this review, I will talk about what caused them, how much the repair costs were, and how many souls were lost, among other tsunami-related facts. Near the end of the presentation, I will discuss my personal opinion on tsunami preparedness plans and what I think a tsunami preparedness plan should include. First, it will be beneficial to define what a tsunami is. According to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, a tsunami is a great sea wave produced especially by submarine earth movement or volcanic eruption, also known as a tidal wave. In the course of my research, and as defined a minute ago, I learned that wave height has nothing to do with determining whether a particular wave is a tsunami or not. For instance, in water deeper than 600 feet, a tsunami wave will rarely be over 3 feet tall. However, as a tsunami wave moves toward more shallow water, the tsunami can increase in height by up to and over 10 times its original height. It is this reason that causes a tsunami out at sea to typically go unnoticed by sailors out on their ships. It is not until the tsunami begins to reach the shoreline that the wave really begins to grow in height. Just for reference, in 1958, an earthquake with a magnitude of 7.8 on the Richter scale caused the largest tsunami ever recorded. This tsunami was 1,720 feet tall and occurred in Latoya Bay, Alaska. The impact of this tsunami was heard 50 miles away and washed out trees up to a maximum elevation of 1,710 feet. As shown in this comparative illustration, the Latoya Bay tsunami was over 50 meters, 162 feet taller than the Empire State Building. Most tsunamis occur in the Pacific Ocean, Mediterranean Sea, Indonesia, and the Caribbean Sea, although they have been known to occur elsewhere. As you can see, the most tsunami-affected areas around the world are around the Indonesia-Thailand area. This is in the Pacific Ocean. Tsunamis are so prevalent here due to the fact that 90% of the earthquakes in the world occur in this region, known as the Ring of Fire. This region is in the Pacific Ocean and includes Chile, Mexico, the United States, Antarctica, Russia, Japan, the Philippines, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, Canada, Peru, Taiwan, and Guatemala. There are many things that can trigger a tsunami. They happen for all kinds of reasons. According to seawarn.org, most tsunamis are caused by large earthquakes at the seafloor, when large slabs of rock are forced to pass each other, suddenly causing the water above to move. The resulting wave moves outwards and away from this event. Underwater landslides can cause tsunamis, and so can land that slumps into the ocean. Volcanic eruptions, which are often associated with earthquakes, can cause tsunamis as well. There have been many deadly tsunamis that have occurred all around the world, some even deadlier than the ones I've listed here. Tsunamis can be extremely deadly and disastrous. I have researched and studied several major tsunamis. Some of them were the tsunami in Portugal in 1755, Indonesia in 1883, Chile in 1960, Thailand in 2004, and Japan in 2011. The Portugal tsunami of 1755, also known as the Lisbon earthquake, was initially caused by an earthquake that sent over 29-foot waves to hit Lisbon. It caused an estimated death toll of about 60,000. This slide shows an artist's rendering of the 1755 Portugal tsunami and the catastrophic effect that it had on the affected region. The Indonesia tsunami of 1883 was an extremely horrific occurrence. It was started when the Krakatau volcano erupted and generated a 98-foot tsunami in the Sunda Strait. The repairs from this tsunami cost $1.5 billion, with a death toll of 36,000 and 165 coastal villages washed away. It is easy to say that this particular tsunami was terribly deadly. This slide shows an artist's rendering of the 1883 Indonesian tsunami, which was caused by the eruption of the Krakatau volcano. The tsunami in Chile in 1960 was the result of the largest earthquake recorded in the 20th century, the Great Chilean Earthquake. The earthquake was assigned a magnitude of 9.5 by the United States Geological Survey. It sparked a tsunami that had waves as high as 82 feet and a death toll of around 5,000. The repairs from this cost $24 million. This slide shows an actual aerial photograph of the devastation of the 1960 Chilean tsunami. In 2004, there was a massive earthquake located in the Indian Ocean near the west coast of Sumatra. It caused a series of 100-foot tall waves to hit the coast of Thailand. This tsunami caused a loss of 220,000 people and repair costs of $8.71 billion. This slide shows an amazingly well-timed actual photograph of the 2004 Thailand wave actually striking the shoreline. You can already see how long, how high, and how devastating this tsunami is going to be. This slide is showing that same tsunami wave from another angle. Surprisingly, some people have not even realized what is going on, while others are obviously beginning to run to seek to find some shelter from the killer wave. This tsunami was so impacting that there was even a movie made about it called The Impossible. The movie ran for 119 days, 17 weeks, from December through April. The movie The Impossible grossed only $19 million in the United States, but saw its most success in the worldwide market, where it grossed $161 million for a total of $180 million. The movie included famous actors such as Ewan McGregor, who was also in the 2017 Disney's Beauty and the Beast, and the 2018 Christopher Robin. Tom Holland was in The Impossible as well. He has also starred in famous movies such as In the Heart of the Sea, Captain America: Civil War, and Avengers: Infinity War. The movie also starred the famous actress Naomi Watts. She has acted in the movie Lady Diana and was also featured in the Divergent series. The tsunami of Japan 2011 was started by an 8.9 magnitude earthquake that struck the coast of Japan about 17 miles below the Earth's surface. It caused a death toll of 15,894, and 2,500 people have not been found still today. This tsunami resulted in about $309 billion in damages and subsequent repair costs. This slide shows an amazing photograph of the tsunami as it literally decimates the shoreline of Japan. It is an awesome show of the strength and devastating power of a tsunami. Thanks to Japan's earthquake early warning system, many deaths were prevented. The warning system stopped high-speed trains and factory assembly lines. People also received text alerts on their cell phones of the earthquake and tsunami warnings. However, even with this astounding warning system, due to the time that it takes to do all the calculations and exactly where to issue the warnings, the warning alert was issued 9 minutes after the initial quake. This gave the Japanese citizens only about 15 minutes head start to beat a wave that was approaching their shore at approximately 475 miles per hour. In my personal opinion, I do not think that there is much that can be done to avoid or be prepared for such a disastrous occurrence as a tsunami. However, I do think that there are measures that can be taken that can encourage safety. I think that there should be plans set in place for a quick evacuation, funds set aside for rebuilding, and shelters available after the tsunami has receded. The 2011 Japanese tsunami was horrific. However, there were measures in place that did help the situation turn out better than it could have been. If those people had no warning of a tsunami before it hit, think how many more lives would have been lost. Japan also has evacuation plans, which is extremely important when it comes to earthquake and tsunami preparedness. The Japanese lost 15,894 people to the storm. However, I think they are doing their best to be prepared for whatever may come their way. Prior to the 2004 tsunami in Thailand, the people had little to no warning of the oncoming storm. People did not know to evacuate. Thailand now has a very thorough warning system in place. The problem is that it was put into place 8 years after the 2004 tsunami. New technology is very helpful in being prepared for a tsunami. For their new warning system, Thailand has 136 warning towers and 3 tsunami detection buoys in the Andaman Sea, set up by the NDWC, the National Disaster Warning Center. Additionally, there are radio, television, and text message warnings, and there are clearly marked evacuation routes in densely populated areas. In conclusion, tsunamis are an indestructible force able to wreak havoc upon the strongest of cities. You can never be prepared enough to face a tsunami, so you must always be aware and try to be ready for whatever may come. Tsunamis can strike at any time, so quick evacuation is key to surviving the terrible force. New technology and observation can help us better detect an incoming tsunami.